It's time for the Coach's Corner Show with your host, Pat Disabato.
Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'm your host, Pat Disabato, and we are at Sandburg High School, home of the Eagles, and have to say, beautiful. This is their second artificial turf on this stadium. Looks great, and now the baseball field just had their turf installed, so things are looking really sharp here on campus at Sandburg High School. I have a great show for you today. We have football coach Troy McAlister as our guest. This is Troy's first season as coach of Sandburg, 3-4, coming off a 59-14 victory over Stag on Friday. They host HF on Friday. Big game. Playoff implications here for the Eagles, who have won 2 straight, including beating Lincoln East 2 weeks ago, 30-27. So they need this win, get to 4-4, and they need to win week 9 and become playoff eligible. So Coach McAlister done a great job here in a short period of time, was hired in June. So he's getting things rolling, won a couple state championships over at Phillips in the city. So this is a guy, we talked about it, in previous shows. Great hire by Sandburg. And this guy's going to turn things around. So we're going to go to a Beggar's Pizza timeout. There's a Beggar's Pizza in Orland Park here, 143rd and Wolf Road. We come back. Sandburg football coach Troy McAlister will be our guest. We're taping here on a Sunday, Gerard and I. It's warm, but it's windy. We'll see you in a little bit.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
Hello, boys. I'm a drop-dead gorgeous pepperoni sausage, hold the vegetables deep dish pizza. Just look at my cheese. Your place or mine. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
Having surgery or dealing with some type of nagging pain that limits your function? Then get to Athletics. We offer treatment for all types of orthopedic injuries, work-related injuries, and sports injuries. Therapists with over 20 years of experience provide treatment that is efficient and effective. Our 2,000 square foot clinics offer state-of-the-art equipment from HydroTrack, Blankenship, and Biodex. If your doctor suggests physical therapy, then you suggest Athletics, where every patient is treated like a champion.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you're just joining us, we're at Sandburg High School, home of the Eagles. Our guest, first-year football coach at Sandburg, Troy McAlister. Troy, how you doing, my man?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for taking time out of your busy Sunday. I greatly appreciate it. And, as fate would have it, the Eagles are in a 2-game winning streak and coming off a big win over District 2 30 rivals Stag and hosting HF Friday night. So, all right, you come over from Phillips where you won 2 state championships. What made this job so attractive to you?
I think when you look at the past record at Sandburg, they've had a lot of football success, and it's been down in recent years. But all of the above of youth football, great community, great school, you put those together and it's kind of like, well, hey, I think it's a situation that you can make into a special place.
Yep, and you got that rolling right now. You talk about the history, and I think many people are surprised that, with the tradition, they've had a lot of success here, but they've never advanced to a state championship game, and they've only advanced to the state semifinals once. Were you aware of that, and are you surprised by that, or what?
I mean, it does catch you off guard because Sandburg was a powerhouse.
Yep.
But I think when you're playing in the 8A bracket, there's a lot of sometimes luck that comes into play.
You need a bouncer too.
Absolutely. And they've had some deep runs and some great runs and some great players through here, but they just weren't quite able to take the final step.
Yep. Well, hiring wise, because of the spring season, I mean, you were hired late in the game here to, definitely hard to implement what you want to get done right off the start. But what is the kind of the first things when you took over you wanted to address?
I think right away it was kind of letting all the players know that it was kind of a clean slate. So we're coming in, we're going to do our evaluations. If there's something you wanted to do or you felt you could do, they got that opportunity. So for us as coaches, we just watched it, observed, and then kind of made the decisions we thought were best for the program. So that was kind of the first thing, is getting that piece implemented so the young men in the program knew, hey, it's a fresh start, let's get after it.
Did you go through a lot of tape? Did you have to watch a lot of stuff?
Yeah, I think obviously you're leaning on the experienced coaches that we brought back on staff, and then watching film to make sure a guy's in the right spot. And we were able to make some changes that I think long-term have been positive.
Yep. Well, you know, off season's around the corner. Hopefully you guys qualify for the playoffs, make a nice long run. But what are some things that you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a full off season here, normal off season. What are some things that you want to implement?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to build a culture. So with our younger players, our freshmen and sophomores, getting them kind of acclimated to how the off season works and the team building component that comes with running a high school football program.
Yep. Well, you know, I think the big key with this program is, you know, it's so many kids in this area from Orland choose to go to a private school. There are many different private schools in the area. What do you try and do here to say, hey, come to Sandburg? I mean, you got a couple guys in the NFL. You know what I mean? There's a great history here, like you say. What do you do to convince families to make Sandburg the choice here?
I think just when you look at Sandburg as a whole, like, it's a top-notch academic school. It's got all the resources you need to be successful, and now we feel that people are in place to make it successful.
Yeah.
And we want this to be the school of choice. Like, even if you are a legacy person with a Catholic school, we want you to look at Sandburg and say, hey, we want this to be your school of choice, because it's the place to be, and we're trying to make it that way.
Have you found it to be a little resistant, or you feel like in that respect that you guys are making some inroads with the feeder programs?
I think beating Lincoln Way East kind of took down some barriers and some resistance to let people know, like, hey, this is different now. We're here to compete. Yep. We're here to give your son, one, like I said before, a top-notch education, but also a chance to hopefully get in the state playoffs and make some type of run. Yeah,
and you look at this school. I mean, you walk inside the school and you go through the hallways and you look at the facilities and you're like, now the baseball field has artificial turf, and you're like, I mean, what more can you ask for, really, right?
Absolutely, and I think that's what you try to let people know about, is like, hey, everything's here, you need to be successful.
Yep, yep. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Lisa Thomas Salon timeout. Remember, 3 locations: Orland Park, Tinley Park, and Mokina. When we come back, we'll talk more with Sandburg football coach Troy McAlister. He has the Eagles on a 2-game winning streak. They're 3-4. We will talk about that big victory a couple weeks ago over Lincoln Way East. And the numbers leading up to this game are staggering, but we'll dissect it all and talk to Coach McAlister about it. Stay tuned.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun for hair, skin, nails, and makeup. No one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas, because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
Bob's Auto Body and Repair in Blue Island has been prospering since 1968 when Robert Warniak Sr. opened a business. Bob's goal? To go above and beyond to satisfy their customers. Whether it's a small ding or a major collision repair, Bob's is a trained technician and state-of-the-art equipment to meet the high standards their customers expect and that Bob's demands. Bob's also offers complete mechanical services for your automobile, from an oil change to brake repairs. Mention this ad, Bob's will detail your car for free with any auto body work or give you a free oil change with any mechanical work. Bob's Auto Body and Repair, Blue Island.
If you're suffering from physical pain, nothing else matters. The one thing that should is Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, because experience never mattered more. Serving the community for 25 years with over 90 years of combined orthopedic experience, our fellowship-trained surgeons provide individualized care to those suffering from orthopedic pain. We deliver comprehensive care, from diagnostic to surgical to rehabilitative services, all under one roof in each of our locations. Midwest Orthopedic Consultants, bringing university-level orthopedic care close to home.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. If you're just joining us, we're at Sandburg High School, home of the Eagles. Our guest is football coach Troy McAlister. And Troy, I'm going to tell you, they should really start maybe thinking about building a statue of you already, and you haven't even gone through a full season, because you beat Andrew. You beat Stag. Now, I'm not going to give you too much credit on beating Stag, but you beat Lincoln Way East. That's not too bad of a first 7 weeks on the gig that you pull this off. And I think the most amazing thing about beating East 2 weeks ago, you beat them 30-27. You're coming off a 42-0 loss to Lockport. It was your homecoming. And at that point, everything could go in the tank. Kids, teenagers, like, man, we just lost 42-0. Now we got to go play Lincoln Way East, and it was their homecoming. What was your message to your kids after that 42-0 loss and going into Lincoln Way East?
Yeah, right after the Lockport game, we talked about, playing to a certain expectation, how we didn't meet that expectation. And even as a coaching staff, we didn't meet the expectation that we want. So it was a big push to the young men in the program, and in particular the seniors, finishing strong and kind of what's your legacy going to be here. And as you said, you can roll over and say that's it, or you can embrace it and attack it. And I think when you're in high school football and working with young men, part of it is teaching life lessons.
Yep.
So being able to respond when things are against you and your back's up against the wall is how do you respond? And we were looking for a big effort against East. We knew from film, like any coach in your game planning, like, hey, we can find some flaws, we can find some things. But then in the end, it comes down to the players making plays. And we had several young men really step up in that game and play unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, and you look at this dominance, folks. East had beaten Sandburg 13 straight meetings. They had won 50 of their previous 52. And the last 3 times Sandburg and East played, East outscored the Eagles 125-0. So again, you're coming off this loss to Lockport, and Coach McAlister and his staff get these kids up. And were the kids aware? I mean, everyone knows Lincoln Way East, but I mean, were they aware that they had this type of dominance, or is ignorance bliss?
So our seniors you could hear them the whole week talking about East and how this meant a lot to them because of how they've been dominated recently, and they knew it was a chance to kind of leave a mark. Yeah. So there was a big push. I think some of the younger guys in the program, the juniors, and we have one sophomore playing up on varsity, they know it, but they're just with COVID, everything, they haven't had the experience of it, which is great, right? Because then you get the naive piece. But that was the mentality all week, was just like, hey, it's an opportunity.
Yep. And I'll tell you, talk about life lessons. The Lincoln Way East students, you got a life lesson too, because when the Griffins were up 12 in that game, you started chanting, "Start the buses." And that was not a good thing to do. That's a life lesson. Until it says 0 on the scoreboard, then you could start the bravado a little bit, okay? Going into the season too, I mean, Kevin Zimmer, a senior quarterback, unbelievable wrestler. I think he's going to Wyoming to wrestle. And just a great kid. One of the, I covered football for 31 years here, and he's one of the most outstanding kids I've ever covered. And you lose him. He got hurt last year in the spring season, so he's out for this season. What did you kind of do to try and replace a kid like that? And Christian Evans, I mean, we talk about having a great game against East. He had 3 touchdown passes, and I think he had a rushing touchdown as well. But not only to kind of replace Kevin's athletic ability, but also his leadership skills.
Yeah, I mean, in a weird way, him missing a few games last year due to his injury kind of helped transition to playing without him. So for all the seniors that had played with him, they had already experienced several games without him running the program or running the team. So physically, I mean, he's a imposing specimen.
Yeah.
All-state wrestler, going to Wyoming for wrestling, and he just has an aura about him in a positive way. Yeah. Great leader, great player. So that transition had already started to replacing him and playing without him. And it's just something like from day one when we came in, I mean, we had guys competing at spots, and we were going to find out who our guys were going to be. Yep. And obviously Christian stepped up. He's a dynamic athlete, and he's really developed into a great quarterback. And kind of the East game was kind of his moment to shine, and his moment to kind of take his next step forward of becoming just a quarterback.
Yeah. Besides Christian, who are some other kids that have stepped up for you?
Yeah, I think Jake Maziarka, our running back, has been great all year. At East, he didn't have a big game in terms of numbers, but if you look at his pass protection and then you just look at the runs he did have, just getting us into good situations on offense so you can kind of keep the defense off guard. Yeah. He's been great for us on offense. Walter Davis really stepped up in the East game as well. He had almost had 200 yards receiving and 2 touchdown catches. It's his first year playing high school football since elementary school, and he's got an unbelievable upside. And we've been waiting for his explosive game, and we got it against East. And then I think defensively, you look at it, I think we're 9 seniors on defense, and those seniors have really held the course with the offensive struggles earlier in the year. Alex Chesniak, Nate Gibbons, Luke DeVito, 3 senior, 2 linebackers, 1 D lineman, just guys that hold it together and give us a chance each and every week to compete for a win.
Yeah. Well, with 2 weeks to go in the regular season, you need to win 2 to become playoff eligible at 5-4. But like we talked about before taping, you never know with some of the COVID situation and games being eliminated that you might be able to get in at 4-5. But let's just go with the preface that you need to get in at 5-4, and you more than likely will have enough playoff points. What would it mean to the program if your first year you get 5-4, you get to the playoffs, you beat East, you beat Andrew, you beat Stagg, and you might have to beat HF here this week, obviously. So what would it mean to the program to become playoff eligible?
I think for our seniors, when you just think of what the young men have gone through with a coaching change, with the COVID season, with everything that's happened, and coming into the season in their 3 years of football, they had 6 varsity wins. So to just give them that experience of a state playoff game would be pretty cool. And we've talked about that as a group, like seniors and myself, like that's our stated goal for this group, is getting a state playoff berth. So for them to achieve that would be unbelievable. And if they don't, I mean, it's been an awesome ride this year. And I think each and every one of them would say they wouldn't change it for anything. But obviously, if you could, the cherry on top would be getting into the state playoffs.
Yeah, and you'd also like to see, Sandburg super fans, man, the student body here is, they're among the best and most supportive. Win or lose, they come out, and you'd like to have them in a playoff atmosphere, wouldn't you?
For sure. I just think for the school community, it would be great.
Yep, it would be. It would be awesome. All right, Troy, again, thank you very much for being our guest. Great to meet you face-to-face here. Good luck down the road here with Sandburg. I know, like I've told our viewers in previous shows, this guy's the right guy for the job. I'm very happy that Sandburg not even took a leap of faith. It's just uncharacteristic, and you're going to do great things over here, man. So good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks,
all right?
Pat. Appreciate you having me on, and go Eagles.
Yep. All right, folks, we're going to go to an athletics, sports, and orthopedic physical therapy timeout. Our good buddy Tom Mulvey, 2 locations, Orland Park and Oak Lawn. He's the best in the business. When we return, I'll talk about some results, players of the week. Stay tuned. Athletic Sports and Orthopedic Physical Therapy is a 2,200 square foot facility that includes the latest in rehabilitation equipment, including the HydroTrack underwater treadmill. All therapists at Athletics are experienced and offer hands-on treatment for patients that require such therapy. Whether it's your feet, ankles, knees, hips, lower back, shoulders, elbows, wrists, neck, or jaw, Athletics is here to help. We at Athletics understand you as a patient have the right to choose where you receive treatment. Ask your physician if Athletics, with locations in Oak Lawn and Orland Park, is right for you. Whether you're in the mood for a Chicago-style hot dog, Italian beef sandwich, Philly cheesesteak, or charbroiled cheeseburger, Joey's Red Hots has you covered. In the mood for something lighter, Joey's Salads promises to hit the spot. Looking to cool off on a hot day or after a workout? Joey's refreshing homemade Italian ice will satisfy. Come check out Joey's Red Hots at 17400 Wolf Road in Orland Park or at 115th Street and Western Avenue in the Beverly community, where they're open until 5 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. No matter which location you visit, Joey's Red Hots promises to provide exceptional tasting food at an affordable price.
Delivery should be done professionally, especially when it comes to your car. Now you can buy a car from the comfort and safety of your home. Introducing South Oak Jeep Dodge Ram Chrysler's Online Shopper, the most convenient way to buy a car online. To begin, start by selecting your vehicle. You'll see the Buy From Home button on every vehicle description page. Use the Explore Payment Options tool to customize your payment. Choose between lease, finance, or cash. Whatever works best for you. Have a trade-in? Get an instant value with your vehicle along with a transparent report so you know you're getting a great deal. To confirm your custom payment, simply fill out our quick credit application. And best of all, you can schedule a day and time to pick up your vehicle. Or we'll deliver it right to you. A South Oak representative will be there to chat with you throughout the entire process. We will walk you through step by step. Buying a car has never been easier. Visit southoak.com today.
Hello, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. I'd like to thank Sandburg football coach Troy McAlister for being our guest. Good luck to the Eagles the rest of the way. All right, we're going to go to our results segments. All right, the big game last week was Joliet Catholic Brother Rice. JCA with a 56-49 win. For JCA, Jordan Anderson, an Illinois recruit, 316 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. Wow. Vinny Iannatoni, 138 yards on 20 carries and a TD. Aiden Voss was 3 of 4 passing for 91 yards and a touchdown. JCA, our number 1 team, is 7-0, and they're looking good. For Rice, dropped to 5-2. Jack Lausch, 416 yards passing, 3 TDs, passing and a rushing TD. Aaron Vaughn, 14 carries, 133 yards, and 3 scores for the Crusaders. Lincoln Ways bounced back after the Sandburg loss and knocked off HF 24-6. For East, Brennan Stolarik, 10 of 17, 201 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jaden Cook had a 44-yard TD catch. Jack Tremblay, 36-yard TD catch. And David Wusk with 2 sacks for the Griffins. For HF, Cameron Oglesby hit Miles Walton on a 7-yard TD pass. Ramon Graham had an interception and a fumble recovery for HF, which travels to Orland Park Friday night. TF South, sleeper. The Rebels are 6-1 and have won 6 in a row. They defeated TF North, arch rival TF North, 42-8. For TF South, this kid's having a great year. Ernest Temple, 16 carries, 139 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jacob Urdialis, 5 of 12 passing, 136 yards and 3 scores. Charles Miles had a 64-yard TD catch, and Jarrell Madison had a 10-yard TD catch for the Rebels. For TF North, Michael Hopkins, 24 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Big game for TF South. They've got Lamont, 7-0 Lamont this Friday, so that should be a barn burn. We'll see if TF South's for real. All right, the Labriola Bakery Cafe Golden Baguette Player of the Week, the aforementioned Jordan Anderson. I mean, how do you deny a kid who rushed for 316 yards and 6 touchdowns to lead Joliet Catholic to the 56-49 win over Brother Rice? We're going to hook up Jordan with a gift certificate, gift card, compliments of Labriola Bakery Cafe in Oak Brook and in Chicago. You could also use that at La Barra Restaurant in Oak Brook and Riverside. The Lisa Thomas Salon Player of the Week, Grace Ulatowski, finished with 13 kills, 11 digs, and 3 aces to lead Lamont to a 21-25, 25-13, 25-20 comeback win over Revis. So we're going to hook up Grace with a gift certificate and some product. Compliments of Lisa Thomas Salon. 3 locations, Tinley Park, Orland Park, and Mokina. And remember, if you still have some homecomings left this year, Lisa Thomas Salon, boy or girl, they'll have you looking your best. All right, folks, we are going to go to a Labriola Bakery Cafe timeout. When we return, yummy, yummy in the tummy, we're going to hit that. Our annual Labriola Bakery Cafe trip is in December. Christmas time, we'll probably be taping at La Barra. It's going to be very festive, and Gerard and I will fill up the tummy. And congratulations to my cameraman, Gerard Grabowski. This morning, Sunday morning, scored a game-winning goal on his floor hockey, Gerard? Street hockey team. Over the shoulder of the goalie, game winner over, championship pile. Gerard's on the bottom. That's a good thing. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
Looking for a unique dining experience with incredible food? Then check out Labriola Bakery Cafe. Opened by Rich Labriola, Chicago's premier artisan baker, you know they'll have great bread, but you won't believe the rest of their menu. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizzas, fresh pasta, and their world-famous Richie Burger. There's also homemade gelato and, of course, their famous bread. Labriola Bakery Cafe and Neapolitan Pizzeria, conveniently located in the Oak Brook Promenade.
At Lisa Thomas Salon, we think loving yourself and your selfie starts with the perfect stylist. That's why we've assembled an amazing team, each with a unique passion for beauty, providing the perfect combination of innovation and experience. Then adding just a little bit of fun. For hair, skin, nails, and makeup, no one does beautiful like Lisa Thomas. Because life's too exciting to settle for the same old thing. Schedule today at Lisa Thomas Salon, a Redken Elite partner with 3 area locations.
We came up with a bunch of clever commercial ideas to entice you into trying Beggar's Pizza. We decided to let the food speak for itself.
I'm a half sausage for you and your husband and a half just cheese for the kids, who never seem to stop moving. Go ahead and take the night off, Mom. I got you covered. Beggar's Pizza. We lay it on thick.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Beggar's Pizza. Remember, if you're looking for a new car or a used car, you want to lease, you want to buy, Denny Guest, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram in Matson will hook you up. We're going to be out there in a couple weeks taping our show, but great people over there, and they will fit a car, truck into your budget. All right, let's go to high and tight, folks. Joliet Catholic is 7-0. Knocked off Brother Rice 56-49, like we mentioned, and Brother Rice is a legitimate state contender in Class 8A. Joliet Catholic's in 4A. Joliet Catholic, I mean, they stubbed their toe in 2019 in 5A. They lost in the semis, and most people thought they were going to win. So, you know, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. Weather, bad bounce, bad day. So, you know, you can't say they're a slam dunk to win it in 4A, but they are heavy favorites to win it in 4A. They could probably win it in 8A. I think they can take on Loyola, which beat Rice 46-43. So that kind of shows you, and Loyola is the favorite in 8A, that Joliet Catholic, they have quite the team. Aiden Voss at quarterback and Jordan Anderson at running back. They're stacked. All right, folks, have a great week. We will see you out here next week.